Conspiracy 1. Mercedes always pretending to be slow, every preseason like clockwork. Toto Wolff steps up, drops his annual prophecy, we are not competitive. But then also, Lewis Hamilton out-qualifying half the grid with a car that was supposedly undrivable. Sounds logical, right? George Russell casually landing a podium while the team claims they don't understand the setup, right? And I'm a 3-time world champion with a Logitech wheel. Here's the thing, no one sandbags like Mercedes. They've turned it into an art form. While other teams show up to winter testing trying to go fast, Mercedes shows up pretending they forgot how to race. We're struggling with bouncing. The car lacks downforce. This isn't our year. Then race day hits, and suddenly the W15 finds the pace of a rocket suddenly waking up. Even when they were dominating the turbo hybrid era, they acted like underdogs. Like we all didn't just watch Lewis win by 30 seconds while Valtteri got told to hold position on lap 12. It's the oldest bluff in F1. Underpromise, overdeliver, cry on Thursday, destroy everyone on Sunday. But let's not pretend Toto isn't enjoying this. The man could convince you your house is on fire while you're sitting in it drinking tea. This is not the car we wanted. Sir, you just won 3 races in a row. What you talking about? Mercedes sandbagging isn't a theory, it's a tradition, a seasonal event, a trust exercise they always fail. But we still tune in, hoping this is finally the year they're telling the truth. Spoiler, they're not. Conspiracy 2. Incompetent or infiltrated? Ferrari, the team that invented speed and now can't even manage a pit stop without turning it into a live comedy show. We all laughed when they double-stacked Leclerc and Vettel into chaos. But here's the question no one wants to ask out loud. What if this isn't just incompetence? What if it's sabotage? Think about it. No team can accidentally mess up this consistently for this long. Tires ready for the wrong driver. Telling Charles to box and then saying stay out mid-turn. Strategy calls that feel like someone just spun a wheel with hard tires on every option. But let's not forget 2019, the magical engine year. Ferrari shows up with straight-line speed that looks like they've strapped boosters from NASA, but then suddenly, poof! FIA steps in, quietly changes the fuel flow regs, and Ferrari vanishes from the front like they never existed. No punishment, no explanation. Just, we reached an agreement. Yeah, that's what the mob says too. Even Leclerc looks like a man questioning his life choices every other weekend. He's basically F1's version of I can fix him, except the him is a 1,000-person race team with no idea what they're doing. And every time things were wrong, there's always a camera right there. Right on Mattia Binotto adjusting his glasses like he's planning the next disaster. Or Fred Vasseur blinking into the void, praying someone brought new tires. So the theory goes like this. Either Ferrari is being sabotaged from within, or the FIA just likes seeing them suffer. Either way, it's the greatest tragedy in motorsport history. A team with all the money, all the history, and somehow no working radios. At this point, we don't even think they bring tire guns to the pit wall. They bring darts, and whoever loses gets to decide the strategy. Conspiracy 3. The grid is rigged for Netflix. If you think Formula 1 is just racing, you probably still believe Drive to Survive is a documentary. Let's be real, this isn't just racing anymore, it's a full-blown drama show. With all the perfect radio messages and timed battles like Verstappen versus Norris, it's starting to seem like someone's writing a script to make it more exciting. We're not just watching F1, we're watching F1 scripted. But really think about it. How does Netflix always have the perfect team radio for the most dramatic moment? Are they psychic? Or do the producers have a hotline to race control? Remember when Yuki Tsunoda randomly pulled over in Zandvoort 2022, reset his seatbelt mid-race, then broke down again like a badly written side quest? That coincidentally helped Max pit at the perfect time. Netflix cameras, always rolling, right when the drama hits, almost like they knew it was coming. Or do they? But also when they edited Lando Norris saying, "Not my teammate," about Ricciardo, except the quote was about signs from a year earlier. But sure, tell us again how it's reality TV. And don't even get me started on the Ferrari radio edits. In real time. Box now, 10-second silence. Too late. On Netflix, dramatic music. Box now. No. Stay out. No. Box. No. Do you get it? They made Toto Wolff look like an angry Bond villain, turned Horner into the smug one, and turned Gunther into your loud drunk uncle at a holiday party. Now every team boss is a meme. Coincidence? Or were they character casting? You think it's a race weekend? But no, it's Season 7, Episode 3, Chaos at Catalunya, starring George Russell's eyebrows and a suspiciously well-timed engine failure. We're not saying F1 is scripted, just that it's a bit suspicious. What do you think? Conspiracy 4. Red Bull's illegal innovations that somehow aren't. If there's a rulebook, Red Bull's already found the loophole. If there's a grey area, Adrian Newey is living in it. Every time Red Bull shows up with a completely legal part, the rest of the paddock collectively screams, "What is that?" But the FIA shrugs. "Yeah, looks fine to us." Oh, okay, so flexi wings that flap like bird feathers on the straight? Totally cool. Until Mercedes tries it, then it's banned mid-season. It's almost like Red Bull plays a different game, where the rules are more like suggestions. Remember the double diffuser? No? That's okay, they remembered it for you. Remember the blown diffuser? Neither did the FIA, until Red Bull ran away with 5 titles and someone finally asked, "Hey, why does their car sound like it's whistling down the straight?" Or the latest, that magic DRS. Opens wider than anyone else's, somehow passes every test, and gives Verstappen straight line speed like he's got nitrous from Fast and Furious. Other teams try to copy it. Immediate inspection, rule revision, this is unsafe. But Max's car? That's just good engineering. Sure it is. Adrian knew he could build a car out of cardboard and Red Bull would still win in Singapore. And Helmut Marko? He'd tell the media it's because the others just don't work hard enough. Classic. But it's not cheating if you never get caught, right? But Red Bull never gets caught. They just get investigated, cleared, then show up next week with another thing that looks illegal, but isn't, technically. They're not breaking the rules. They're just bending them so hard they might snap. Conspiracy 5. The FIA always helps the title fight. You ever notice how the FIA suddenly remembers they can change rules? Right when the title fight gets boring, 1 week everything's fine, next week boom, mid-season rule tweak, new flexi wing tests, ride height changes, engine map limits, and they always swear it's for safety or clarity, but somehow, it always happens when one team starts running away with the championship. It's almost like the FIA is sitting in the back of the Netflix edit room going, this season needs drama. Remember 2021? Mercedes catches up to Red Bull mid-year. FIA bans Red Bull's rear wing and the whole floor reg changes magically. Just slow Max down. Coincidence? Or was Liberty Media sweating about views? But if you're wondering who benefits, yes, it's always the team the FIA swears they're not favouring. They'll never say it out loud, but you can feel it. The inconsistency, the rulebook gymnastics. It's less about fairness and more about keeping the script interesting. Can't let one guy dominate too early. Gotta keep those Sunday viewers guessing. So here's the theory. The FIA doesn't rig the race. They just shape the season. Gently, like a reality show producer whispering in someone's ear, hey, maybe fight that guy next episode. Because nothing boosts viewership like controversy. Conspiracy 6. Abu Dhabi 2021. Wasn't a mistake, it was a script. The moment the world stopped making sense. Abu Dhabi 2021. You already know. Max versus Lewis. Winner takes all. A full season of tension, drama, crashes, penalties, protests, all coming down to one race. And for 57 laps, it looked normal. Lewis dominating. Max nowhere near. Done deal, right? But then, Latifi. The man, the myth, the meme. Spins it into a wall with a few laps to go. Safety car. Here comes the chaos. Now, this is where the theory kicks in. Michael Massey, the race director, starts making decisions like he's writing the final of a TV show, not running an actual sport. Normal procedure. Let all lapped cars unlap themselves, or none. Massey? Hey, just these 5. Specifically the 5 cars between Max and Lewis. Everyone else? Sit tight, suckers. But then, green flag, out of nowhere. 1 lap shootout, Max on fresh softs, Lewis on dead tires. You know how it ends. Dive bomb. Championship. Boom. Now, the FIA said it was human error. Just a guy under pressure. But come on, the timing, the drama, the perfect storybook ending, it felt more like scripted chaos than a mistake. If this had happened in a movie, people would have said it was too unrealistic. And here's the thing. This wasn't just any race. This was the final of the most watched F1 season ever. Liberty Media's golden year. Netflix cameras everywhere. Social media exploding. You think they were going to let it end with Lewis winning again? No fireworks, no controversy? Nah. This wasn't about fairness. It was about headlines. But also poor Massey. Thrown under the bus like he was Latifi's front wing. Quietly removed, no explanation, no accountability. FIA just went, mistakes were made, and moved on like nothing happened. So here's the conspiracy. Abu Dhabi wasn't a blunder. It was the season final of a $1 billion show. And the hero, or villain, depending on who you ask, had to be Max. Conspiracy 7. The Red Bull. Second seat curse. It's the most dangerous job in Formula 1. Not being a driver, not being a pit crew member, no, being Max Verstappen's teammate. Welcome to the second Red Bull seat, a place where careers go to fade, hope goes to die, and radio messages sound like therapy sessions. First victim, Pierre Gasly. Promoted in 2019, demoted by mid-season. Red Bull said he needed more development. Translation, he didn't finish within 30 seconds of Max, so he's useless. Then came Alex Albon. Sweet kid, great smile. But every Sunday, he looked like he'd just been told to fight Hulk with a spoon. After 2 years of getting lapped in the same machinery, he was out too. Replaced by, drumroll, Sergio Perez. Checo started strong. Then Max started dominating. And suddenly, Checo's race engineer developed amnesia. Plan A, no wait, Plan C. Actually just defend for 40 laps while Max goes P1. Every year, the story repeats. This time, it's different. Number, it's not. Because the second Red Bull car, it's not built to be fast, it's built to stay out of Max's way. The theory? It's not about talent, it's about design. Red Bull's whole setup is built around one driver. The rest, backup singers in the Super Max show. So if you're a rising F1 star and Horner calls, let it go to voicemail. Conspiracy 8, Lance Stroll's infinite lives theory. There are bugs that never die. There are things that just won't go away. And then there's Lance Stroll, the one F1 driver who always keeps his seat no matter how bad things get. Let's start with the obvious. His dad owns the team. Cool. Nepotism happens, but most kids would at least pretend to earn it. Lance crashes every other weekend, gets out-qualified by half the grid, and still rolls into the paddock like he's got 10-year job security. Because he does. Remember when Sebastian Vettel joined Aston Martin? World champion, experience, racecraft. Still couldn't get that car into a consistent top 5. But Lance, just cruising around in 12th place like he's on a vacation, and no one says a word about it. But then came Alonso, the 2-time world champ, and for 5 races in 2023, people started to whisper, could Lance maybe learn from him? He couldn't. Because even when Fernando dragged the car to podiums, Lance was spinning it like he was auditioning for Tokyo Drift. Even when he breaks his wrists in a biking crash before the season starts, does Aston replace him? No, they duct tape him back into the cockpit like he's made of Lego bricks. Other drivers? One bad year and it's thanks for your service. Stroll, he could crash into Lawrence's yacht and still get a contract extension. The theory? He's not just a driver, he's part of the furniture.